Welcome to Bent TV. I'm Leanne Renfree from Switchboard, Victoria. Switchboard is Victoria's peer-based telephone counselling information referral service. We've been going for 25 years, and we were really proud at this midsummer to run an event called Making Peace with Your Parents. And I welcome Carol Ann Allen, who presented that talk.
Hello.
Carol Ann, you're a psychotherapist in private practice, had worked very closely with the LGBTIQ community, and when we're discussing the event for Midsummer, you suggested making peace with your parents was a good topic. What led you to that?
Well, we are a migrant community. We're filled with people who have left their families in order to find a better, safer place to live. Mm-hmm. So I have been doing this work for over 20 years, so as time goes on, as you work with people and in your own life, you age, our experience of being separate from our parents changes over time. And although we may need to get out early on, not only because possibly our families are unsafe for us to stay in, but also because there's sort of a pull factor to sort of discover ourselves in another place. And if we don't have the blessings of our family to do that, there's a disconnection that we have to live with and
That's
takes
true.
over. And oftentimes, say that disconnection really is activated in holiday times or in times when important events are happening in our lives and there are missing people.
Yeah. You did say in your talk that gender identity and sexuality may be the triggers for family estrangement, but they may not actually have been the true cause. Can you elaborate on that a bit?
That's right. Coming out in a family has its own challenges, its own difficulties, but really we're coming out into a culture of our family, and that culture in our family has rules, and it has rules of belonging, and coming out may be something that actually we are trained not to do across a range of things. We're trained in our families, if it's a family that is reactive and likely to be estranging in a way, that's a clue that actually the rules are very tight in that family.
So you could break any rule, and coming out might just be one of them.
It might be one of them, but I think coming out breaks a lot of them, because coming out is about being different. It's actually saying to people, I need you to be different. I need you to hear me, to respond to me, to respect me in a new way. And it may also be saying to a family, you know, in order to keep me in this family, in order to make space, we might need to change some of the rules around here. So it's a very actually provocative thing to do in a family that has a lot of rules. But those rules are actually there in a way to keep people safe. Those rules are there because there are vulnerabilities. There are capacities that the family has that they don't know how to express or how to manage other than through rules.
So if the rules are there, but they're confining for individuals within that family, can those rules be changed or, I don't know, made more rubbery or something?
Well, yes, I think so. But it actually takes courage, and it takes reflective distance to be able to do that. And, you know, those rules are in us. It's important for us as children to stay connected to our families. We depend on them, and so we have to adjust to how things are, you know, how to stay connected to these important people. And so we follow their guidance. They don't necessarily tell us the rules. A lot of these rules are unspoken.
Well, you
but
don't
we
know
watch,
about them till you break them.
That's right. We watch and we watch and we learn. So it's important to be able to step aside, and we can often do that when we are away from our families and think, what is actually going on here? But it may take some help to be able to do that, because we are stuck in our own patterns with our families, and we need to be able to recognize those patterns in ourselves. So one of the ways that you can really understand more about the culture of your family and how you contribute to it is to listen to the stories that you tell yourself or you tell others about your family.
About your experiences in that family.
About your experiences in that family. And even though those stories are importantly about us, you know, we are the center of our stories, they're actually stories about other people. And if you want to change the rules in your family, I think you need to be aware of what's going on for the other people too, because actually they're living by the rules as well. And in the talk that I gave, I really privileged having empathy for your parents. And that may seem like too much to ask for in a way. But empathy is really an opportunity to look at everyone in the picture, yourselves included, as the vulnerable human beings that we are, and to look at those stories as moments in time and moments in place that perhaps, say, with coming out, nobody knew what to do, including ourselves. We didn't have practice in doing it. Our parents didn't have practice in responding to it, and everybody responded according to either what the rules were or the reactivity that rules are supposed to protect the family from.
So maybe they're doing their best at the time, it just sometimes it doesn't result in the best outcome.
Right. So how I think we change the rules in our family is actually to recognize that we are not in that time and that place now. We're actually who we are now. We've grown, we've developed, we've had more experiences, we have more capacities. And might it be possible for us to apply those capacities, those learnings, those understandings to our family rather than stay in the story that we're stuck in, which actually keeps us stuck in a time and a place that is in the past.
Yeah. So I guess there is an opportunity to change things. That same pattern doesn't have to repeat.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah. So I believe Melbourne Psychotherapy is going to be running some workshops around these sorts of issues. So if anybody's interested in exploring things a little more, perhaps they can look at Melbourne Psychotherapy Services website. And also if you wanted to call Switchboard, our phones are there, phone counsellors there, 3 p.m. to midnight, 7 days a week, 1800 184 527. And web counselling is now available through the QLife network. We're partners in the QLife project across Australia through qlife.org.au. So thank you, Carol Ann, for joining us today, and thank you. You've been watching Bent TV.